that they have in your hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now we start with this one. Why not? Why not take this one now? And now the power generator. And we end this with this one. Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Christian from Berlin, and wouldn't it be just great if we could sit down in any dark blues bar and just improvise a little without sheet music? Oh God, it's that German again. Somebody call security. Well, I'm going to do exactly that, make you improvise. I'm good at that. For 30 years I made people improvise. I can even make a candle improvise blues piano. So this lesson is also the first chapter of my new book, How to Improvise Blues Piano. If you're interested, comes a 50-minute video with it. It's linked in the description box. And this is the first chapter. And I would say, let's just go. If you want another part maybe of this, of the first steps, or if you just liked it, leave me a thumbs up. That shows me that you liked it or that you want more. Let's go and have some fun, because it is fun. Let's have a quick look at what is keeping you from not just playing spontaneously. Because, I mean, there's physically something is not keeping you. There's no wall or anything. It's a psychological thing. It's, generally speaking, it's fear. Fear of making mistakes, and fear of stepping into the unknown. It's just safer to play from sheet music or just following the orders of a teacher instead of somebody saying, now you do anything, especially because you've listened to all these recordings of blues piano, and so you feel especially small. And that's a very big point. If you always see how the masters play, yes, if you compare yourself, yeah, you're a small little worm, a blues worm, one of the famous blues worms, and you're just there. So you have to change your perspective. That was the short intro, and now comes the great news that it is not unsafe. Because blues piano has a framework. It has a scale, it has a form, it has a rhythm. We can already hold on to something. It's not we are drowning. And now I'm telling you a secret that actually nobody else knows. Well, the CIA might know it, the NSA, and possibly the Dalai Lama, and that is even the greatest blues piano stars, they don't improvise note by note. They don't play a note and say like, what could I play next? There's too little time. They rely on small figures that they have played many times and that prove to be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, here we go. I'll show you 3 figures, and your job afterwards will be rearranging them spontaneously. First one is this one. 1 and 2. This is the first basic example. Don't worry, it will get more complex with time, but these are the first steps. 1 and 2. The second one is going here. They all have the same counting. And the third one is this one. So we have 3 figures, and play now with me. Repeat these, that they have in your hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 3 little figures. Play a very simple left hand. If this even is distracting you, just take a even simpler left hand, just as a metronome, the root. When we'll stay in C. Okay, so any complexity has to go in favor of what we are targeting here. Okay, now you have them. And now it's your turn. Finally, please play them in a different order. And before that, maybe you have to pause the video to really internalize them, that you know them so well, these 3, that you can do that. Okay, put the video on pause and play them in any different order. Any different order. Go improvise, student. Okay, now you might have realized already that you can just start with a different one. Maybe you start with this one, and it's already the whole thing has a different order. So that's the easiest way. You start with this one first. You play them in this order, or you start with this one. So there are there are more than 3 possibilities. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Yes, this is already improvisation. In the beginning, it will sound like very slow because you have to think in the beginning. But you don't interrupt the beat, you just choose a very slow tempo. That's the beginning. Yeah. Okay, now we could do the next step and take a fourth 3-note element. Yeah, it's just 3 notes, but it sounds right, doesn't it? I gave you already an example of how you could play this. Now again, it's your turn. You learn, like just in language, you learn another new word, and your vocabulary will grow until you can be poetic with your new vocabulary and create something beautiful. It will grow automatically. Okay, your turn now. You have these 4 elements, and you improvise with them, playing them in any different order, and it can take your time and slow down. But you have to do this. You have to do this. Put the video on pause. Do it now. Okay, you ready? Yes. And I will now jam a little over these 4 elements. I play them in any order, and I will just do it with the just for 20 seconds or so, and I will show you also something that you should note. Okay, I will just play. You've already seen it, huh? Did you realize I was repeating? This is also allowed, and it's very important. It's not just always new elements, but repeating is very important in music. It's one of the most important elements. And instead, the students always want to give me new. I want new ice cream more. And repeating is so powerful. Okay. And I can now juggle with them. Imagine you have these boards in your hand and you're just juggling. And this you have to do and do it for a while. Okay, now we take a longer little route that is just great. And it's just the blues scale downwards. It's a wonderful little idiom. It has more notes now. But it's very easy to remember, very important. And you know it. Finger setting, now that we play longer lines, then just make sure that the 4th finger is on the G flat, and always take the same, because if you have to remember doing improvisation, try to remember finger setting, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. So you develop little automatisms that you will always do, so that during improvisation you don't have to stop. Okay, example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, we use this longer line now. with a little of these mini idioms we used before. And you can start to be a little bit on the safe side with the blues scale, and then play the others you learned. And try to repeat all of them. Remember, you can repeat. No doubt, this is already improvised blues piano, and it's getting a little bit richer. And then the next step would be not play this as the safe harbor, to be always the first. Example, we start with one of the others, with this one. Or this one. And then this one. And then this. Or we start with which I haven't used yet. Yeah, got it? So, and you sit down again, take your time, and just play. These things gotta be in your hands. And then we can reach out a little bit. Now, we're making a real step.
This might be a big step for mankind, but nothing compared to what the students in Christian's tutorial do.
We started now with mini idioms and just a blues scale down. So very simple. You now got the rules of the game, right? So we're starting now with real idioms, and they have more notes, and they have probably different rhythmic structures. They are different to count. Before we had this very simple bam ba bam bam ba bam. We are leaving that now because in order to make it more interesting, the rhythmic structure has to be also a bit more interesting. So I will play what is coming now. How do you like that? Well, I don't care. No, I really do care. But did you recognize elements that you know already? Let's have a look. So, the one new element is this one. And this is a real sweet idiom we are learning now. And you can play that for the rest of your life. It will always be part of a great piano blues improvisation. And this one. From counting, it's easy to remember. It's just swing eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's just blues scale notes. So we're making now something interesting within the blues scale. We have very little material in blues to be creative with. In jazz, we have the Mixolydian scale, we have the Dorian scale, we can play a lot more chromatic stuff. So in blues, we gotta make something sweet what we have. We have just one kind of dough. And now we gotta make from that different kinds of cakes, different kinds of breads and stuff. And here's a piece of cake for you. And fourth finger here. The second one is almost the same, but just up. And both are great to use. We start, the second one is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Counting is again just dotted eighths. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And there's more, but we will just now, because they're harder to remember, repeat them. Play with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 again, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 really nice slices of German wholesome cake. No, it's already cream. It's very nice. So then we have a third one that was new, and that was this also great. You can use it for the rest of your life. And this one has already a different rhythmic structure, different piece of cake. So let's have a look. It's like, you see, I enhanced the left hand already. It's you will see why. 1 and 2 and 3, because we have a triplet in the end. 1 and 2 and 2. So you have a place for the triplet here. 1 and 2 and 3. You can also stay with the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now you got to recall first the rhythmic structure of the first two, right? Just swinging eighths, and this one. And you can I sometimes teach it with words that sound because it gives the structure less abstract meaning than 1 and 2 and t. But for example, this sounds really good. So the really good is the triplet in the end. This sounds really good. And it does. You're not even lying. This is really good. Okay. Now we could, the next step would probably be just take these three before we mingle them with the other stuff. Okay? So just play. Now start with any of those. We started then, and we have to repeat. Why not? And with to fill the last bar with one of those we practiced before. Let's say, remember these. So, and now we start with any of those new ones. Let's start with this one. And then, this sounds really good. Oh, and I would say that is already a nice piece of blues. And you can play it in any order. It will not sound wrong. Okay, let's try another one. No, now you try. Again, put the video on pause. Play these three in yet another order. You know how it works. And first get them in your hands, so that you don't have to stop to recall them when you improvise. And then you finish up with one of these early ones. Okay, the early ones. That's long ago. You're in the pro sector now. You can use this hand, but you can also say with the simple hand, do it now. Time is running. Put the video on break and fiddle around, play them in a different order. This sounds really good. And play it slow. Okay, you can't hear me anyway because you put the video on break. So, you would have, of course, now have found out you can start with this one. And here. We've just discovered you can play all elements on all octaves. They stay the same elements. It's like when I say apple in a deep voice, apple, and then I say it in a high voice, apple. It's still an apple.
It's still an apple. So, and it's the same. It's the same with these idioms. Yeah, it's the words are the same. You can play them up. If you want more energy, you can play them down. If you want to sound like. If you want to sound dark. And now you will play with those, including, please, the blues scale down. Another one of the easy ones. Example. Oh, we start with this one. Now the octave. Now. If you decide spontaneously, you are now officially a blues piano improviser, and you decide, I want to play one double, then of course there's space missing in the end, then you just leave out another one. Hey! You're now creative. You're now creative. Nothing is forbidden. If you want to repeat it even 3 times, then you just play it. Whatever. Or is that good or is that good? Okay. This is a whole chapter for you again to chew on, to really jam with these, to internalize them. I know I repeat myself, but this is important. And then you could fill also smaller things. That you could also start like this. What I taught you earlier, the early ones, I didn't teach you that for nothing. Like you can still use it. Da, 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 da. Ah yes. Oh. Blues scale, why not? And why not repeat this? You see, I change octaves, and you will also do. You see, you can repeat. You can go up the octaves out of the safety zone. You know, in the beginning, this feels safety. That's why they call everything middle of the road, because people like to walk in the middle of the road because it's a safer space. Unless you're on the highway number 5. Then the middle of the road might not be the safest space. Anyway, but you know, people, if you tell people, where do you want to go? This is the road. They go here, instinctively. It's like from before we were snakes or something, we always go instinctively for the middle. But then also there's the least creative spot is also here. So, as artists, creative people, geniuses, we use the bandwidth that others don't use. So even try your playfulness, even if you don't expect it to be great, just to show some courage, like. Yes. Gotta learn from another tutorial. You know a good blues piano teacher? Leave in comments. And now we do another step for mankind, a big step for mankind, a small step for you. And it's a simple one. So you have some relief now. It's a simple one and it's powerful and it gives a great sound. It's this one. I call it in my book the power generator. It's 1. Yeah, as simple as that. Very important idiom in blues. You know that. We have that everywhere. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's just play the simple, the three blues scale idioms we played before, the new ones, and this one. Okay? So, you still remember the old ones. Now we are mixing again the old dough, and we just put a little bit of onion candies on top. That's beautiful. Onion candies. Does that even exist? Okay, example. And now you know your way around. Yeah. Ooh. And now we start with this one. Why not? Why not take this one now? And now the power generator. And we end this with this one. And in this, come on, people. This is great. And you juggle with those and you will have a lot of fun. I know it has become already a lot for the first steps, but this will take you a while, but until the next issue. And I hope you had fun with me. My personal joy is if I make people improvise and find joy in that. That cannot be paid in money, and that people are surprised. I can just do it. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day or night, and I see you in my next one. Subscribe. You learn all kinds of stuff on my channel, from cooking to repairing second-hand clothes. No, it's just piano. From blues to funky to boogie woogie. Anyway, so bye-bye from Berlin.